They chuckled at James, the unfortunate mechanic, when he confidently wagered that he could repair the unfixable engine in merely one day. The workshop brimmed with skepticism and derision, as each expert seemed convinced of impending failure. Yet James exuded a subtle assurance that took everyone by surprise. The events that unfolded overnight would leave everyone in disbelief. His hands could breathe vitality into what appeared irreparable. This narrative transcends the life of a mechanic. It unfolds as a saga of determination, bravery, and an unforgettable triumph. Before we dive in, please give this video a thumbs up and share your location in the comments. Your support enables us to share more impactful narratives. Let us commence. They chuckled at James, the unfortunate mechanic, when he confidently wagered that he could repair the unfixable engine in merely a day. The workshop brimmed with skepticism and derision, as each expert was convinced of impending failure. Yet James exuded a subtle assurance that took everyone by surprise. The events that unfolded overnight would leave everyone in disbelief. His hands could breathe vitality into what appeared irreparable. This narrative transcends the life of a mechanic. It embodies resilience, bravery, and an unforgettable triumph. James had spent countless hours in the garage since his teenage years. Each morning he would show up before the first light, his attire marked by oil and grease, his hands calloused from countless years of toil. The workshop brimmed with luxury vehicles, their proprietors anticipating nothing short of excellence. Yet James remained in the shadows, the unsung hero in a society that revered affluence and prestige. The other mechanics, boasting impressive credentials and extensive experience, hardly acknowledged his presence. They murmured in hushed tones, branding him a fool for daring to dream so grandly. One day the garage encountered an unusual challenge, a luxury car with a complicated engine that had stumped everyone for months. The owner was becoming increasingly frustrated, warning that they might seek another option for the vehicle. Robert, the head mechanic, summoned everyone for a meeting. The atmosphere was thick with exasperation and despair. It was a unanimous decision that the engine was irreparable. It was costly, intricate, and each effort had proven futile. At that moment, James rose, his voice steady and his gaze resolute, and declared, "Give me one day. This engine will be repaired by me." Joyful sounds filled the air around him. "And you? Could you please make some adjustments to this?" "You can't be serious," Robert scoffed. The other mechanics chimed in, their heads shaking and doubtful glances exchanged among them. Yet James stood his ground. He understood that his understanding and enthusiasm were more profound than anyone could comprehend. He devoted numerous nights to delving into the intricacies of engines, absorbing knowledge from books and vintage manuals, honing his skills through personal practice. His hands spoke the intricate dialect of machines more fluently than anyone acknowledged. As the day drew to a close, the workshop fell into a hush, anticipation hanging in the air as everyone awaited James's next move. The sun sank beneath the horizon, stretching elongated shadows across the garage. James secured the doors, resolute in his decision to labor through the night. He scrutinized every detail of the engine, uncovering issues that others overlooked. With meticulous attention, he removed the rust, swapped out the damaged components, and deftly adjusted the intricate system, his hands steady and precise. Time slipped away, marked only by the rhythmic clinking of tools and the steady rise and fall of James's breaths. The city lights danced in the night, yet James stayed resolute, driven by an unwavering resolve. He understood the gravity of the situation, not merely for the vehicle, but for his self-respect, his standing in the workshop, and his aspirations. He labored relentlessly, determined not to succumb to fatigue. As dawn broke and the first rays of sunlight kissed the horizon, James inserted the key into the ignition. The engine sprang to life, vibrant and robust, reminiscent of its pristine condition. The following morning, an unsettling hush enveloped the workshop. The mechanics huddled together, their eyes filled with astonishment. James stood by the car, composed yet triumphant, aware that he had achieved what many deemed unachievable. The laughter had ceased. Admiration took the place of derision. Robert moved closer, offering his hand with a fresh perspective. This was more than a mere solution. It was a declaration. James demonstrated that talent, passion, and conviction could triumph over any challenge. From that day onward, James transcended the label of merely being the impoverished mechanic. He embodied hope and determination, motivating others to have faith in themselves against all odds. His narrative transcended the confines of the workshop, serving as a compelling testament that genuine skill and determination can illuminate the darkest moments of skepticism. The engine he repaired stood as a symbol of his journey, quietly observing the victory of bravery over uncertainty. The narrative has only just begun. James's journey is just starting, and the unfolding events are sure to enchant both hearts and minds. Prepare yourself for the upcoming chapter of this remarkable story, where obstacles intensify and the stakes rise dramatically. What challenges lie ahead for James? What transformations await him following this triumph? The revelations will astonish you, igniting a desire for further exploration. The morning following James's miraculous revival of the impossible engine, the workshop thrummed with an invigorating energy. The atmosphere was heavy with a sense of wonder, and each technician, whether a novice or a seasoned expert, couldn't help but observe James with renewed fascination. He was no longer the unnoticed, struggling mechanic. He had transformed into the individual who undertook what others would not even consider attempting. Yet beneath the surface of this triumph, a new challenge was quietly emerging, one that would test everything James had strived for and compel him to confront the stark realities beyond the confines of the garage. As the sun ascended in the sky, James's phone began to ring. An unfamiliar number appeared. Upon answering, a steady yet assertive voice revealed itself as Alex Donovan, the CEO of the luxury car company that had dispatched the engine to the workshop. Alex had been intently tracking the narrative via social media and news segments. The whole nation was abuzz with news of James's sudden triumph, and the excitement was palpable. Alex was eager to meet James face-to-face to talk about an opportunity, one that had the potential to transform his life completely. James was utterly astonished. A man of Alex Donovan's caliber did not reach out to just anyone. This was his moment, the chance he had long anticipated. Yet apprehension lingered in his thoughts. He had always approached the idea of trusting strangers with a sense of wariness, particularly when it came to individuals hailing from a realm so distinct from his own. Nevertheless, he consented to the meeting. The meeting was scheduled for the following day at the company headquarters in downtown Chicago, a location James had only glimpsed from a distance during his daily commute. The following morning, James donned his freshest outfit, a stark contrast to his typical grease-stained garb. He arrived early, his heart racing as he entered the modern glass structure. The lobby radiated contemporary sophistication, a sharp juxtaposition to the rough-and-tumble workshop where he toiled each day. Alex welcomed him with a sincere yet earnest smile. He immediately cut to the chase. "James," Alex started, "your efforts on that engine were truly remarkable. It wasn't merely talent, it was insight, commitment, and a grasp of machinery that eludes many in the field. Our organization is encountering a significant challenge. We possess a prototype engine that remains unfixed, and its functionality is vital to our future. I invite you to join our team and take the lead in addressing this challenge." This opportunity transcends mere employment. It represents a pivotal moment to transform the entire automotive landscape. James experienced a whirlwind of exhilaration intertwined with uncertainty. This was the opportunity he had long envisioned, yet it arrived with overwhelming expectations. Could he truly abandon the comforting confines of his modest workshop for the intense pressures and watchful eyes of a corporate behemoth? Would he find acceptance among a group of specialists who had previously overlooked him? Alex's offer transcended a mere career shift. He faced a formidable challenge in demonstrating his abilities on a grander platform. The subsequent days were marked by nights devoid of sleep and a mind plagued by ceaseless contemplation. James made his final visit to the workshop, strolling by the well-known tools and aged engines that had defined his journey. He reflected on those who had questioned him, the challenges he had faced, and the journey that lay before him. This journey transcended the mere act of repairing engines. It was a journey of transcending limits and reshaping the boundaries of possibility. As soon as James embraced the opportunity, the news raced through the community with astonishing speed. The workshop thrummed with a mix of pride and astonishment. Some felt a spark of inspiration, others were consumed by envy, yet all were aware that James's life was transforming in ways that defied expectation. As he readied himself to venture into the unfamiliar, a strong determination surged within him. This was his opportunity to radiate with unparalleled brilliance. As James ventured into the realm of advanced technology and corporate dynamics, he quickly understood that the obstacles were just beginning. The prototype engine was a marvel, unlike anything he had encountered before. It was shrouded in mystery, encircled by unsuccessful efforts and growing exasperation. The group he became a part of was doubtful, their assurance undermined by a series of setbacks. Trust hung by a thread, and each misstep could lead to James losing it all. This was an extraordinary repair job. The challenge put his resolve, intellect, and bravery to the ultimate trial. The journey before me was fraught with challenges, and the risks had never been greater. Still, James was resolute. He understood that each moment was crucial, and the gaze of the industry was upon him. What mysteries might the prototype engine uncover? In what ways would James find his way through a reality that contrasts sharply with his own? The revelations await in the upcoming chapter of this enthralling tale, a narrative that will hold you in suspense, yearning for each unfolding moment. James entered the cutting-edge lab, where the prototype engine stood like an enigma waiting to be unraveled. The room buzzed with the sound of machines and flickering lights, a stark contrast to the oily tools and fresh air of his former workshop. Surrounding him was a group of engineers, brilliant thinkers well-versed in cutting-edge technology, yet weary from setbacks. With a blend of doubt and anticipation, their eyes trailed after James. They had heard whispers of his sudden transformation, but this was something else entirely. The tension escalated, and this machine had triumphed over the finest. James examined the engine with great attention, his fingers gliding over the intricate web of wires and parts. It was a project that stood apart from all his previous endeavors. Years of experience had honed his ability to attune himself to the subtle whispers of engines. Each sound, each vibration narrated a tale. Yet this engine was eerily quiet in ways that disturbed him. He came to understand that this challenge transcended mere mechanical skill. It was about grasping the unseen patterns that lay beneath the surface. As the sun dipped below the horizon, James immersed himself in his craft, unwavering and relentless against the pull of fatigue. The engineers observed, occasionally providing suggestions, at times retreating into uncertainty. James embraced every bit of information, yet he remained confident in his instincts. There were instances when exasperation loomed large, when the engine stubbornly remained unresponsive, when the data appeared to clash. Yet he pressed on, fueled by a passion that intensified with every obstacle. James uncovered imperfections in the system that had gone unnoticed, subtle glitches in the software governing the engine's performance, and minute misalignments in the hardware. He fused traditional mechanical knowledge with contemporary technology, harmonizing instinct and creativity. Gradually, bit by bit, the mysteries of the engine started to reveal themselves. His team became captivated, their doubts transforming into a careful sense of hope. One evening, after countless hours of tireless effort, James finally achieved a breakthrough. A significant error was pinpointed in the prototype's design, a defect that led to the complete shutdown of the system when subjected to pressure. The engineers hurriedly revised their calculations. After a long stretch of uncertainty, a sense of hope permeated the atmosphere. James guided the team through the repairs, orchestrating each step with a steady and meticulous approach. As the pivotal moment arrived, James inserted the key and turned it with determination. The engine sprang to life, its power and smoothness leaving everyone in awe. The group burst into cheers, their expressions glowing with a mix of relief and admiration. James's victory transcended mere technique. It embodied a profound triumph of spirit and unwavering perseverance. However, achievement brought along its own set of difficulties. As the news circulated, corporate attention started to converge. and James found himself maneuvering through a landscape of influence and tension. Certain colleagues harbored resentment towards the attention he garnered, while others raised doubts about his approach. Alex Donovan, the CEO, observed intently, considering the significance of this breakthrough for the company's future. James realized that this was merely the start of something greater. The path before him was unpredictable, laden with challenges that would not only challenge his abilities, but also reveal his true nature. Would he stay authentic amidst the allure of fame and wealth? Is it possible for him to guide the team in revolutionizing a whole sector, or would the burden of anticipation shatter his aspirations? The responses to these inquiries exist just beyond the present, within the evolving tale of a mechanic who had the courage to dream, a quest that will test all his beliefs and uncover the genuine essence of achievement. The days that ensued after James's breakthrough were beyond anything he had ever envisioned. The atmosphere in the company was electric, as everyone watched in anticipation, while the prototype engine, once deemed unattainable, transformed into a beacon of hope and creativity. James had gained the admiration of the engineers, yet the path ahead remained long and challenging. With each achievement arose fresh challenges, anticipations that reached heights beyond the loftiest towers in Chicago. The glare was overwhelming, and James sensed its heavy burden resting upon him. He dedicated countless hours to discussions with executives and designers, transforming his practical experience into strategies for large-scale production. The realm of corporate decision-making resembled a labyrinth, teeming with political maneuvering, concealed motives, and wary voices cautioning against potential pitfalls. Yet James held his ground. His concentration was unwavering. He understood that beneath every boardroom discussion rested the destiny of numerous employees, families, and clients who held faith in the potential of something more significant. At the workshop where it all began, his old friends observed with admiration as James maneuvered through this unfamiliar realm. Some offered him heartfelt congratulations, while others murmured their skepticism, questioning whether the mechanic, who repaired an engine in a single night, could navigate the unforgiving tides of the corporate world. James grappled with the transformations. The scent of oil and sweat gave way to the stark chill of fluorescent lights and gleaming floors. He longed for the straightforward realities of the garage, yet he recognized that true growth required giving something up. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow through the lab windows, James sat in solitude, reflecting on the day's exhaustive presentations and strategic discussions. The prototype engine rested silently, embodying the culmination of countless hours of unwavering dedication. He caressed the cold metal surface, memories of nights steeped in frustration and hope flooding back to him. This engine transcended mere machinery. It represented a profound change, not only for the organization but also for James on a personal level. In an instant, his phone vibrated. A message arrived from Alex Donovan. The CEO's tone conveyed a sense of urgency, balanced with a glimmer of hope. A significant rival had revealed a breakthrough of their own, posing a risk of overshadowing and unsettling the delicate progress James's team had achieved. The task was unmistakable. James and his team needed to accelerate their pace, think creatively, and demonstrate that their vision could not be hindered. The tension mounted. James assembled the team, conveying the news and uplifting their morale. He emphasized that their task extended beyond merely repairing an engine. They were crafting the future of an industry. Each detail was significant. Each choice held significance. The engineers rallied with fresh resolve, dedicating themselves tirelessly to perfecting the design and gearing up for production. Days melded into nights as the team stretched the boundaries of imagination and resilience. James exemplified determination, not allowing weariness to cloud his concentration. He fostered a culture of open dialogue, embraced contributions from all perspectives, and recognized minor achievements that strengthened their shared determination. The prototype transformed, taking on a more streamlined, efficient, and potent form. At last, the time arrived to reveal the completed engine to the world. A press conference was organized, drawing the attention of journalists, industry leaders, and investors alike. The ambiance crackled with a mix of excitement and doubt. James stood at the podium, his heart racing with anticipation. This marked the peak of a journey that started with a modest wager in a cluttered workshop and evolved into a struggle against skepticism, challenges, and the boundaries of what could be achieved. As James elaborated on the engine's groundbreaking design, its possible influence, and the team's unwavering commitment, the audience absorbed every word with keen interest. The audience burst into applause, the excitement unmistakable. James's narrative had transformed into a symbol of inspiration, demonstrating that skill, dedication, and bravery could shatter limitations and redefine the norms. As the applause dwindled, James understood that the real challenge was just starting. The journey ahead promises to be laden with fresh trials, rivals, and unexpected hurdles. Yet he was prepared. With each inhalation and every pulse, he stood ready to confront whatever lay ahead. This marks the conclusion of the journey, at least, for the time being, a tale of an underdog mechanic who overcame adversity, proved the skeptics wrong, and transformed an entire industry for good. Should you have experienced the impact of this tale, if your intrigue has been sparked and your emotions awakened, keep in mind that every conclusion paves the way for a fresh start. We appreciate your involvement in James's remarkable journey.